Hey guys, it's Ben the Coin Geek at Old Pueblo Coin, and before we get to the question of the day here, I just want to say something really quick about go ahead and anytime you watch the channel, if you watch videos, go ahead and make sure you hit the like button, and leave a comment, that type of thing, and here's why. So the YouTube is going to tell people what to think, right? And so you guys are knowledgeable collectors, and so you can help with that. So if some guy in Wauwatosa is trying to figure out what he's got in coins and he does searches, do you want that guy to find some clickbait nonsense about his penny being worth $10,000 when it's not? Or do you want him to get good information? So that's what this is all about. So if you want to help out the coin community and its reputation, please consider when you watch a video hitting the like button. Go ahead and comment, share the videos. Thank you. Now, the big question of the day is, how long does it take to grade a coin? This was an interesting little discussion I had with a customer not that long ago. We were going through coins together and looking at stuff to possibly get graded or not, and he threw the question out there, well, how long does it take to grade a coin? And it was interesting because I thought, okay, well, I don't look at coins very long to grade them, that's for sure. And, and we're going through coins to decide whether or not to get them certified, right? So send them into NGC or PCGS. And he asked, well, how long does NGC and PCGS look at coins? I told him, well, I don't actually know the technical answer to that question, but I will say this, hopefully not very long. And I know a lot of people sometimes complain about, oh, they only look at your coin for 3 seconds, which they probably look at for longer than 3 seconds, mind you. But the reality is you don't want someone who's going to take a minute, 2 minutes to grade a coin, because they don't know what they're doing, right? Like you want someone who's going to be able to look at a coin right away and decide, okay, here's what we got going on here, right? So for the process, for me, oftentimes is I'm looking at a coin and I'm deciding the grade within a few seconds. It's almost the same thing that you would do when you meet somebody that, the psychologists say or sociologists say, hey, within meeting somebody within 3 seconds, you know if you like them or not, right? And the same thing's true about like job interviews. I mean, it's almost instantaneously how the brain makes decisions. And the same thing is true when you look at coins. And if you have experience with them, you look at it and say, okay, this is going to be right in that grade range. Now, after that's when you have to stop and get critical, right? Because for the grading process, you want to make sure that you're looking for little hidden things that you may miss otherwise, that affect the total overall grade. This is something I'm guilty of sometimes where I don't take the time because I'm lazy to double check, right? So you guys have seen videos where I'm missing wheel marks on Washington quarters. It's like my favorite thing to miss is a wheel mark on a Washington quarter because it's going right down his hairline and it looks like luster. Happens to me all the time, right? But that's because I didn't take the time to go a full 360 on the coin and stop and look and see, because it's very deceptive on some of those. So realistically, you want to be able to look at the coin quickly and decide the grade area, and then after that, go down to the details. Make sure there's no cleaning marks. Make sure there's no residue or little things like that. Make sure there's not a scratch that they're going to call a scratch, which who knows what they're going to call a scratch, right? I don't know. I'm not putting money on that. I'm not going to bet on that one, that's for sure. So this also gets me a little bit into grading and AI again, because, realistically, that people talk about grading and AI, and sometimes they talk about like, well, we're going to replace all the graders with artificial intelligence, and I don't think that that's a good idea. But also, I don't think that's necessary. But I do think that with lots of things, you can have something aid you in the process. So like for circulated coins, for most circulated coins, you can actually get a pretty good grade range based on, imaging, right? Imagery, especially if they're circulated. Uncirculated coins, I still feel like it's a very different beast. And even then, with the circulated coins, you're going to run into some coins where the strike is like too hard to navigate, right? But you can kind of program that in from what I've been told, right? So, but Indian head pennies, they're almost all kind of similar. I mean, you have different strike levels, but there are some buffalo nickels where I've seen coins that are basically brand new coins that have no horn. So if you're going to go off of one indicator, you're never going to really figure out exactly the grade. And so that's always been my caveat with some of this AI stuff. Like, okay, cool. So I understand that with imaging and the technology, you can get an idea of what the grade is, but then how do you account for some of these other things? So the basic concept here would be for you to use the AI to basically do like a pre-grade or pre-screen, right? So sometimes we'll use that process at the store where, someone who's not as confident about making sure they don't make a mistake is in, and they'll pre-sort stuff out, like, okay, well, I know all of these coins over here kind of hit this indicator, and I'm going to go ahead and set those aside, and then we'll look at them later together and talk about it, versus just me having to go through all the coins at one time, right? When you have someone else, you can go through lots of stuff. But that's the basic idea behind using some AI in the grading process. If you're one of these grading companies, hey, you guys can use that idea. PCGS, NGC, Annex, whatever. The new CAC, go ahead, just use the pre-screen. Go ahead and use the AI for that. That's it. I'm not charging a nickel for that idea. So at the end of the day, how long does it take a grader to grade a coin? It shouldn't take long, right? If you're watching a sporting event and no one likes a late whistle by a ref, right? And if you're watching like football or basketball, no one likes a late whistle. Also, if you're watching baseball, nobody likes that late call. Nobody likes to he was thinking about his laundry. Did I move my laundry into the dryer before I left? It's going to be all moldy. Strike! And like, what is he watching right now? Right? Nobody likes that. So grading is not grading once you learn it. It's a quick process, and it, like lots of things in life, because you train your brain and you give it repetition, and then it does all the work, and on autopilot. So anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. I'm Ben the Coin Geek. You can subscribe by clicking on the owl button in the corner and watch more videos on the right side of the screen. Thanks.